there were 700 million people in India homeless or slum dwellers. And it struck me that no amount of charity will ever be sufficient to solve that challenge. You're never going to solve what is effectively a $350 billion a year challenge through black tie gala dinners and charity. It's just that you've got a massive scale deficit. And so I said, okay, I can't think about this as a charitable challenge. I have to think about it as how do you change the systems that keep people poor. And fast forward a few years later, the G20 was coming through my hometown of Melbourne. And me and my mate Dan, we had this idea to run this small concert to convince the Australian government to increase foreign aid levels. We called it the Make Poverty History Concert because we were inspired by what we'd seen happen in the UK with the Make Poverty History campaign. And we thought it was going to be a relatively small concert because we were university students. And one day I was in the library studying, and Bono from U2 called me, and he said, in his thick Irish accent, he said, "Hey boys, I'm coming through Melbourne. I want to perform at your concert. Is that all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, right. This is a prank call." I didn't believe it was true. And then he said, "And I want to perform with Pearl Jam. Is that okay?" And sure enough, they came on first on our bill, and they sang "Rockin' in the Free World" by Neil Young. And that night, 1 million Australians signed on to our campaign, and we only have 20 million people in Australia in those days. And so we had 1/20 of the entire population of Australia behind our campaign. And so a few months later, we projected the words "Make Poverty History" onto the sails of the Sydney Opera House. And Kevin Rudd, who was about to become our next Prime Minister, came up on stage and he announced the largest ever foreign aid increase ever. We secured $6.2 billion in new foreign aid. And that's really what led to the birth of Global Citizen.